Community media is an interactive and community engagement strategy for people to be able to learn the tools to tell their own stories in their own voice or whatever interests them, and then distribute that content to share with its own community. We still service a certain demographic, and I think that the strength that we have in community media is hyper-local stories that don't get picked up elsewhere. So on Maui, we have a vibrant Hawaiian culture. Those stories are only being told on Maui. There isn't anywhere else that can tell the stories of Maui.
My project is the Community Media Archive, and I founded it about 9 years ago. And it's a place where access centers can upload their video and archive it forever for free. Oftentimes, you only see what's in your local community media organization, and so the value of an archive where you've got access centers and government entities from all over the country is you get to see what topics are important to those other people as well. One access center will upload the show to the Community Media Archive, and then other access centers, either in the same region or across the country, are able to download that and air that.
Our neighborhood news bureau team is out there every day. We've got a group of young people that are writing stories about their community and sharing things that sometimes the mainstream media might miss. And anytime we think we can educate people, that's a win. Whether it's graffiti in their neighborhoods or nutrition and the lack of food options in their communities, it's really sort of more of a grounded level and a community level of journalism and reporting that is harder and harder to find these days. There's a mentor that coaches them in student journalism and helps facilitate their website and their publication and coaches them in their reporting. I think you have to try to triangulate and make sure that you're staying relevant in today's culture and today's society.
You know, free speech and democracy and, getting the voice of the people on the air is just critical. And Access Sacramento as a resource allows them to broadcast both on cable television as well as on our radio station. And all of that is also streamed to the world. You know, you want to be able to take that set of friends that you have and reach beyond them. You know, those people in your Facebook and Twitter account already kind of know what you're going to say and who you are and what you're about. When you step into the world of cablecasting and radio, now you're broadcasting. And you don't know where you're going to pick off people that you never had any exposure to before, and suddenly you're making a difference. You're making your voice heard and having effect in your community. And that's what Access Sacramento is all about, providing opportunity, equipment and training resources so that you don't make the same mistakes. You step up your game and you make a difference.
Community access media is vital. It gives a voice to those in our community who otherwise would not have a voice. And that can mean expressing political concerns or environmental concerns or anything that might be a high energy topic of the day. And you don't have that access with commercial television stations or commercial radio. But with the public access system, you are free to speak your mind. And in this day of free speech, with it being constricted as much as it is, public access is your voice with free speech. Make a collaboration with these organizations, because the stronger your collaboration and the more collaborations you have, the more the word is going to get out about your television and or radio show.
I like to help a lot of members can get their voice on the channel. So I'm the production manager, so I help and oversee all the productions and all training. So I particularly is always with the members and basically talking to producers about how they can best get how we can best help them. Whether it's equipment, whether it's training, whether it's resources, that's how we help in our department. We do high school games throughout Sacramento County, and we get a lot of feedback from the parents and the children about how well we're covering the games. I was one of those students back, 35 years ago, no, 20 years ago, that I was actually filmed with Access Sacramento playing basketball, and that stuff is valuable to be able to show my son me when I was in high school. So some of those things are valuable to me. We have people always from 20 years ago, I remember when you shot this game or you did this. So that, in effect, as far as being able to highlight some of the great things that happen in Sacramento sports, Game of the Week does.
There's a pressure to do more, but there's not necessarily a pressure to be more meaningful. You know, to have more impact, to be more indispensable for people in your community. So I think it forces you to focus, to know why you're doing what you're doing. Sometimes I think it means you actually have to say no, so you can focus on activities as you're growing them. If you can be thinking about the needs of volunteers, not just the needs of your organization, as you're building a volunteer program, it gives you a leg up on success, I think.
With the consolidation of all the different radio, television, newspaper outlets and everything like that, there's really one voice. So who speaks for the underrepresented? Who speaks for those that are underserved? Only community access. So we really empower people to share their stories, share their opinions, share their viewpoints, and be able to create a conversation that's meaningful within their own neighborhood. So we've provided a lot of opportunities for homelessness, for providing services for the homeless, or houseless as we want to call that now. A lot of information about raising youth, and particularly, and I think one of the most important aspects is how well we reach the senior citizen community. We have several programs that really directly reach out, talk about end-of-life issues, whether it's estate planning, scam prevention, or how to care for your people and how to care for each other, and how do we really make sure that we've got the best community, the best society, the most caring folks around.
We're unique in that we're not just public access. We are actually a nonprofit that's a community action agency in the city of Long Beach. So actually our agency's mission is to help families that are low income with programs to help them achieve self-sustainability. And I created PadNet TV out of a teen program that focused on digital media arts to teach teens how to be more productive in learning digital media arts skills that could turn into actually job pathways or use their talents to do even more in the community. One of the things I looked at initially was, what can we do that other nonprofits aren't doing that this community needs? And the biggest thing was teen programming. Teens typically, if they're not involved in extracurricular activity at a school, they don't have many organized activities to get involved with. When you're talking about low-income teens, especially young men of color and young ladies of color, it was important to me to find programs that could get them engaged and then wrap around that things like etiquette, critical thinking, college pathways, career pathways. And we have groups that are shooting in the communities, and we have groups that are down at City Hall. And then we can show through technology that video live streamed onto our channel. Now we're meeting the community where it is and being innovative and bringing more people into PadNet so that we can generate more interest, more support. We're changing lives by helping people in sometimes desperate situations to overcome those challenges. Now, how does that happen with PadNet TV or public access? It happens in us being able to tell that story of those people that we've helped, so that then we can use those stories to help generate more interest for a Long Beach Community Action Partnership, which means that we can have the funding and the support to keep public access alive in the city of Long Beach.